Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Pint Half Full. Today we are joined by Gary and Chris. How are you guys doing?
Good, thanks, Charlie.
Good.
What about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Today we're going to talk about things I wish I knew sooner. So, do you guys have anything you wish you knew sooner?
Loads, right? We've briefly been speaking about this topic. One of them was I wish, and I'm going straight in with it, I wish I knew about higher education being shit. So,
Yeah.
I went to college, right? And I started doing 3 A levels and a GCSE. And then very quickly did I realise that cannabis was in the world. And I became really lazy and
Slowed you down a bit.
So then I went down to 1 A level, which is like 5 hours a week. So I had to pay for it. It wasn't even full-time education. But most of the time I just sat in the field smoking weed, right? And then by the end of the 2 years, I got a U, which stands for you ain't getting no grade.
Got a U and lost most of your brain cells.
Yeah. And then if I look at myself where I am now, I don't have that 50 grand's worth of education debt, but I still am medium successable.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew that higher education, was not going to be my path. It might be other people's path. You are successful or not successful, whether you go to education or not, right? But I am in the camp where don't bother.
Don't go. Yeah, and I think I was always thought I was going to have to. I went to college.
Yeah.
I didn't do very well at college at all. But I think
What did you do at college?
computer studies. And I don't know why.
I never knew that.
No, but computers, was it like the big
It's
monitors?
massive
now,
monitors,
big
yeah.
CRT
I remember
monitors,
like going in.
curved screen on it.
I remember going in.
The wrong type of curve, right?
Yeah, but I had like one of the first things you went in and had like a typing test.
Oh, yeah.
And we had
What
so
words
many
per minute?
people that were so quick, and I was literally just one finger.
That's funny
couldn't-
about
it
typing
couldn't
this.
do
I
it.
remember doing that, going for jobs. I had to go to the recruitment company on the high street, and it was like, and then I had to do before I could go to any interviews, I had to do a typing test.
Yeah.
So on the course that I did was music technology. The A level I did, which was 5 hours a week, and I recorded. This is how fucking old I am. It was recording on tape, like reel to reel. Like it wasn't
okay.
like
Shit, yeah.
It was like literally a bit of tape going round, and we was like, that's how fucking old I am.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I always thought that I would follow the path and go to university, but I didn't, and I'm the same. Please, I didn't.
Yeah, I think that, there's a massive onus on like going to college, going to university, because like to show that dedication that you can study for X amount of years. Did you go to uni or college?
I didn't go to uni, college, yeah.
What did you do at college?
College, I did IT and I also did media studies.
Right.
So yeah.
And it's funny,
Okay.
like people go, I read history, and now they work for a merchant bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think whatever you study, some people go on to follow that path, but then I think other people kind of verge off and do something completely different.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's what sucks about uni sometimes. Like if you're locked in and then at the end of it you just swerve off, then it's like,
you're
that
just
was a waste of money.
fucking over it. It's like I've read so many books about history. I just want to go out and start painting pictures.
Yeah. Chris, do you have anything that you wish you knew sooner?
I don't really.
Cool. End of podcast. Great.
Yeah, I was actually looking up just pointless sort of what is it called? Life hacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
I was just,
There's a guy right on TikTok where he says, something I wish I knew before I was 30. That guy that runs around with the jumpers on. I watched too much TikTok.
Me and Chris are like, what?
no, but I just thought I was looking at some stupid ones earlier, which I just thought were quite funny. But there was one that was, I've done it actually before, where I've painted my bedroom, and you have an elastic band around the tin.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you dip the paintbrush, instead of like wiping it on the side of the can and all dripping down and maybe going on your floor, you have that elastic band and you wipe the brush on that.
That is fucking genius.
Blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, I found that out a while back, and I did it and it worked.
Wow.
It's so satisfying when it works as well.
Yeah.
I've got a couple like in my head, but I've got a whole list here, so I'll go through that. But my two are like, so the first one, I've had my Corsa for 5 years now.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, And so Laura had owned a Corsa previously.
Laura is one of our senior social media managers.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I have to wind the windows up when we were walking into a petrol station. She was like, oh, no, you don't need to. You just hold down on the lock button and then the windows automatically go up. I didn't think it was that advanced in this car. This car's from 2009 and it's like a shitbox.
This is
basically
a big thing, right?
Yeah.
This is a life-changing thing.
My,
and all it is open up the fucking windows. But I know, I
the
can
amount
imagine.
of time that will save.
Yeah, but sometimes you shut the door. You've turned the engine off. You open the door, shut it. You're like, fuck, I've left my window open. And actually, on my car, I've got to start the engine to turn my windows, to put my windows up.
Yeah.
So to have to press and hold to put all windows up. Not only is it fucking flex, but
I never
Get
realised.
all the ladies.
yeah, what's up, ladies? Look at this in your 2009 Corsa.
Yeah, I never realised that was like a lot of cars. I thought it was like new cars.
Yeah.
So like the fact that
Right?
I think
wonder
it's,
if my,
when she
van
showed
does
you,
it.
you must have gone, wow.
I couldn't stop going on about it for the next hour
Yes.
or so. So yeah.
You were texting everybody. Did you TikTok it as well? Did you?
Yeah, no. I told my parents, I was like, I've owned this car for like 4 or 5 years now, and I've never known about this.
Honestly, that it would excite me too if I found that out.
Yeah. The other one I saw on TikTok the other day, I don't do as much TikTok as you, but this was just one video, and it was someone, like, we all have problems cutting onions, right? Like,
No.
it makes you cry.
Yeah.
And, okay, maybe it's just me then, but you get a fork and you get the onion and then you stab it in the bottom and then you hold it down that way. And then you hold it down that way. And then you get a peeler, and then you go backwards and forwards, and it's like thinly sliced.
Yes, I've seen this.
Caramelized onions, done.
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to do a little bit more to the onion to caramelise it. But just to dig a bit deeper on your onion peeling thing, it is the fact that the peeler can go back and forth.
Yes, I
That's
remember
why-
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
You know, it was, they get the onion and they go like that on it.
Yeah.
You can't see this on if you listen to this on Spotify, but it goes like that. And
Yeah, they go backwards and forwards.
Honestly, it fucking blew my mind. So yes, I too use that one. My other life hack before you go into the list, is taking a UK four-way with you on holiday, and just one European plug if you go to Europe, obviously. For all of your hair straighteners and your phone chargers, rather than loads of European plugs, just pack a four-way and one European plug.
Right, we're gonna jump into this list here.
So what's it? This list is a curated list by yourself.
No, by lovely Danny.
Oh, the producer.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
hi, Danny.
Producer, yeah.
Hi!
Cool.
Yeah, I've got to say, Danny, there's some fucking weird ones on it.
Okay, cool. I'm
It is
excited.
Danny.
Yeah.
When women squirt, it's mostly pee.
Wait, come on.
Right.
I was not expecting this.
No. Number one.
Now I'm fucking ready. Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you heard it. Do you want me to say it second
No,
time?
I want you to say it because can
you guys know that?
Can we just have quiet in the room, please, Charlie? What is the first on the list?
When women squirt, it's mostly pee.
I didn't know that it was mostly pee. I did once date a squirter,
Oh God, here we go.
and honestly, fuck. And it was the first time I'd even been with someone that was that way inclined. Fuck me. Honestly, the sheets were.
Did you need an
fucking
umbrella?
Drenched, and I'm sorry to say this, but I loved it. It was so much fun. Honestly, it was like every time we had sex,
End the podcast.
I tried to do it. I tried to, activate it.
Activate it. It's not a fucking button
Honestly,
or a switch.
Fucking drenched. Honestly, it was unbelievable. You really give it a go. You're like, it's like an achievement. For fuck's sake. No, I've
It's
changed
an
my sheets.
achievement you unlock.
Yeah, honestly, shocking.
Right, a less weird one.
Yep.
There's more life forms on your body than people on Earth.
More life forms. Oh wow. Well, I mean that's boring as fuck.
Yeah, I know, right?
Cool. More life forms on my body. I mean, yes, maybe a teenage boy like yourself, Charlie. There's probably more microbes
Yeah.
on and around you. Talking about disgusting things around Charlie. My favourite story about him was when I think there was a flood. Didn't his flat get flooded?
Oh, yeah.
And we asked him. His mum went in to like tidy the thing, and he said, "Oh, did you sort it?
Tell you the proper story?
Yeah, tell me the story, and then we'll tell them what you said back to us."
Right. So basically, I have like an outhouse is my room in the garden. And so my mum's like work is like next door to it, so it's the same building. And so she was working in there, and all of a sudden one day she heard a lot of like water noises coming from next door in my room.
C.1.
And so she runs around, goes to my room, and my tap has exploded because it's been like fucking freezing recently.
Yeah.
So the pipes have just been freezing over, and all of a sudden it just fucking explodes. So yeah, and then that was a massive mess.
So then when you came into work the next morning, we were like, "Oh, how'd your room get on?" And it's like, "Yeah, Mum just found like loads of screwed up tissues around the bed."
Yeah.
I was like, that was a bit honest.
It was some
Charlie.
of it up, all right?
Firstly, don't tell your colleagues that. Secondly, put them in a bin so your mum doesn't find them. Jeez, use a sock.
Schoolboy error.
Literally a schoolboy error. Okay, next point.
A bit more serious.
Oh.
Being busy isn't always a good thing or something to boast about.
Absolutely.
Right, Gary, 1 second. You've been talking way too much. Chris, we'll go to you first.
No, thanks. So say it again. Being busy is, what did you say?
Being busy isn't always a good thing or something to boast about.
Over to you, Gary, I think.
I think it's straight back around. I gave you a chance.
Yeah. Yes. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
There is this hustle culture, right? And people talk about the hustle culture on LinkedIn about, I get up at 5 o'clock and this is my routine where I'm early bird catches as well and all that kind of stuff. And they try to make out that it's cool. And it's like, I actually don't want to be fucking busy. I'm stressed as it is. And you need to have, I think we spoke about it earlier, like I had like this bottle of water, which is how I describe the amount of stress that I have. And it gets to a point where, it sits around the 800 mils and then anything new comes along, it just starts to fill up. And you need to have a bit of empty bottle to be able to, one, enjoy your life, and two, be able to take on more stress. So, like, being busy, absolutely, I fucking hate being busy. People shouldn't boast about being busy. It basically means you don't have very good time management quality of life. And quality of life is really important for me, for my staff. I really focus on well-being and not having to have notifications after 5 o'clock or making sure workload isn't over and above, right? I really do try and if there's like, you have to start, if you're working late, I make sure to mention to people, don't forget you can start late.
Yeah, exactly.
If you work late kind of stuff, right? So yes, I wish, it's not that I'd wish I knew that sooner, it's that I wish other people would adhere to that also.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
No, that's a good point, Gary. No, I would have said exactly the same thing.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Right, so next one, we're venturing back into the dirty part.
Oh, here we go.
Cool.
You can get pregnant from Precum.
Do you know what?
There is a 20% chance of conceiving from Precum, according to the World Health Organization.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice to know.
I'm desperately trying not to constantly talk here, but firstly, Precum. It's one of those phrases that I love saying, but you don't often get to talk about it. So it doesn't come up in conversation very much, and that's what Pint Huffle is all about. It's about having a conversation where you don't normally, right? So there is an advertising campaign at the moment, I think must be Durex, or maybe it's the World Health Organization, where they talk about, like, I think 50% of people actively having sex are using the withdrawal method as their main, their main contraception, which is fucking really bad, because yes, you can get preggers from Precum.
Do you know what I find really fucked up? I heard this. I heard it the other day, and it's girls are starting. They've probably done this for a long time, but poke holes in condoms. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Hopefully they're not wearing a condom, right? So yes, I did know that actually.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Right. Okay. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Right, cracking your knuckles doesn't increase your risk of arthritis. According to Harvard Medical School, the cracking noise actually comes from collapsing gas bubbles.
Yeah, I've always heard
I
it's
actually
arthritis.
used to think that I was going to have arthritis because I did it so much,
I
right?
crack my fingers now all the time. Ooh.
That's fucking gross. Please don't do that. So I didn't know that. I thought obviously it would damage your knuckles.
Yeah, I
etc.
thought it would.
But you
I would
know,
have thought so.
I'm 100 years old, right? So when I bend my knees, there's like a cracking sound.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was like gas.
I'm getting that already, like every time I bend down. So,
But I didn't know the cracking of the knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd worry about cracking of the knees. I think
Guess
more
they
than
snap.
my knuckle. Eh?
Guess they snap.
Yeah.
I fucking hate seeing broken bones and shit. I don't go slightly off topic here, but you know, like sometimes I see these vids pop up or UFC or whatever,
Oh
and
man,
like people have broken their ankles.
I
or,
don't mind it.
oh god, even
I
like
don't want to see it.
there's
It's
one
like-
where it came up my thing, and as soon as it was like part of the way through, like breaking, I swiped, but it was like was it like a couple on their wedding day, and they just like jumped in the air, and it was a slow-mo video of like throwing confetti and stuff, and as she landed, she broke her ankle and just went like floppy and just like went, it was like a fucking right angle, and I was like, oh my god, that is the grossest fucking thing ever. Let me just watch it one more time.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that Tom Cruise, you know, in the Mission Impossibles?
Yeah.
He jumped from one building to the other in one of his stunts.
Yeah.
And it was the stunt was meant to be where he would jump, just miss the ledge, and then catch it and then pull himself up.
Catch it.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, you mean
grab
yeah,
hold.
grab the... Why are you picking at me?
I was making a joke.
So he grabs at the ledge, and his leg actually goes against the wall, but then his whole leg just goes back on itself.
Oh,
so you can
grim.
see in slow motion his ankle just going like that. You know, like it's in some football games, you know, you get the slow mo camera.
Yeah. You got to see
My
it completely
God,
go the other
like-
way. Because that was like, when you said about UFC, that was Conor McGregor, didn't he? Conor
Oh,
McGregor's
that's
like,
right,
he
he had
got
a flappy,
kicked,
like,
but
shin
then
kind of thing.
he just
Oh,
went
yeah.
and his ankle just snapped.
And the fact that he's actually going back to UFC or potentially, like, is insane.
Yeah, see, that would put me off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
'cause
think
once
it
it's
would never
broken,
be the
Yeah.
same strength again.
It's definitely not
Like-
going to be the same strength again, right? And, like one little tap, bosh,
Yeah.
legs in half.
But
There's like a
again-
couple of footballers have done it as well. You know, you see a few things like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you've got to stand around this poor guy because
Yeah.
his legs are fucking right. Go on, Charlie, hit me with another.
Did you know babies don't have kneecaps?
I have a baby, and yes, you're right. They do. Kneecaps do develop. What I find fucking gross is it's got a funny name, but they have like a hole in the top of their head.
Wait, what?
I'm even grossing out to speak about it.
Oh, it's like, what, really soft, isn't it? Like,
Cerebellum, yeah. So it's like there's a hole at the top of the head where it's like straight through to the brain, and it like pulses. It's a good couple of months. It could be like
What
a
the
year
fuck?
before it actually fully closes. But you can just like when Garrison had it, it was like pulsing just on the top of his head.
Oh.
And I'm like, honestly, even fucking grimacing now. But you know, you're really protective over it, and you catch it in your eye just moving like that, especially when he's dehydrated. Not that I dehydrate my baby, but sometimes he's thirsty, right? But then you think it pulsing on top of his head. I'm like, oh god.
This might be a really dumb question, but does it pulse like to the beat of the heart?
I don't know. I didn't go. Oh, like, oh, this
Well,
is-
no, because you know when like you touch a random part of your body and it's like it's your heartbeat, really.
Yeah, the pulse.
I find that
Yeah.
weird how like you can feel it in your wrists and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it was to do with blood pumping, but it was definitely a pulsating top of head. It was fucking
Sounds
grim,
great.
Yeah.
Right, next one. Not everybody wants to be an extrovert. Some people are quite happy being introverted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't necessarily things I wish I'd knew sooner, but
It's on the list, so we're gonna go with it.
I have this spiel. I am an introvert, but masquerading as an extrovert, right? I fucking hate people. Like, and I think we've spoken about it previously, like going out into crowds and shit like that.
Yeah,
I hate
liking it.
I hate all of that kind of stuff. And you're right, no, you don't have to be an extrovert, and it's not a negative or a positive thing. It's if you're an introvert, you get your energy from within, and if you're an extrovert, you get your energy from without. Well, not without, from people around you, right? So never see it as a positive versus negative thing.
Yeah, true.
It's more where you get your energy from. You know, my social battery runs out very quickly for me. just because I fucking hate people.
Yeah.
But I know that I have to do for good. I have to be an extrovert. For
It's
the
good that
of the
you can
business.
play that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a massive introvert, but it's good that you can be an extrovert.
Yeah, I
You
hate
can
it.
play
I cry myself to sleep most nights. Yeah, But yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't live without like a social life. Like I need to be around people every now and then. But I don't mind being alone. I don't mind like even if I went travelling alone. I don't think I mind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mine's not like keeping myself to myself. It's more just I'm not loud. I'm not out there, and I'm not that opinionated. I'm just a massive introvert. But
Yeah. And it's okay. Like I said, it's not a positive or a negative thing. It's just where you get your energy from, right? So the listeners at home, don't worry about it. It's okay to not want to be in crowds. You know, it's all right. Just make sure that you do talk to people, because it's, you know, isn't today something like talk to a friend day or something? You know, you just reach out to people. If you see an introvert, or if you don't see an introvert, then do reach out to them, because they could be just in their own hole and like dwelling on certain things. Do reach out and actually speak to these people, because they might be suffering with something at home. And because they're an introvert, they'd much rather just not talk to anybody. But sometimes you do need to share. What are you fucking laughing at? I'm trying to be deep meaningful.
No,
mate.
I'm just I'm reading this next.
Okay, cool.
This
Give me some more Precum.
Right, I do apologise if I get this wrong. This is the pronunciations one, so it's like the correct way of pronouncing like Nike and all that.
Yeah.
So Nike actually is pronounced.
Oh, wait. Why don't you quiz us? How many have you got there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool. You counted like you had a stroke there. So if he says,
Nike.
yeah, we both at the same time say how we think it should be.
Okay.
Right? So go on. What's the first one?
So what's the right way to pronounce Nike?
Nike.
So I say
Nike.
Nike, but yeah.
Yeah, Nike. Well, the
What is it?
Americans
Is it
say
Nike?
yeah Nike,
Right.
but the Americans say it that way.
Yeah, I would say Nike.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah,
said
Nike.
Nike.
1 point to you, Gary.
Okay.
What's the right way to pronounce IKEA?
I say
I always say IKEA.
But I did see a video the other day saying, you know,
IKEA.
Does anyone know what IKEA means? Oh, slightly off topic. Bonus point. It's like the initials of the founders, I, K,
okay.
and
What
E and
is
A
it?
or something.
Swedish? Is it a Swedish company?
Yes, Swedish meatballs.
Oh yeah, everyone goes on about the meatballs. I've never had them. Are
I've
they
never
good?
had the meatballs.
Yeah, I love balls.
The awkward silence afterwards. Right. Anyway, next one. The correct way to say Hyundai.
Hyundai.
I would say,
Hyundai.
yeah, I would say Hyundai.
Not Hyundai. Hyundai.
Hyundai.
It says
Oh, God.
Hyundai.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I don't know.
Desperately trying not to put on an accent.
Nutella.
Nutella. Yeah.
Nutella, yeah.
Nutella.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I've got a bonus one here, just from the top of my head.
hit me.
Everyone says gyozas. Actually,
gyozas,
What do I
yeah.
say?
Gyozas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gyoza, yeah, I'd say gyoza.
Yeah, the amount of people that say gyoza, and I'm like, no.
Give me some fucking gyozas.
I went on my gap year. And,
Oh, my
and
God.
everyone was saying gyozas, so yeah. So yeah, I think that's actually the list completed.
Cool.
It would be nice if the listeners at home, all three of you, if you want to comment below and let us know what things you wish you knew sooner. Cool. So yeah, obviously, where can people get their podcast from?
Spotify, Google, YouTube, and Apple.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.